Writer and editor Raquel Willis spilled some controversial tea during a recent podcast interview. She shared that she does not feel obligated to disclose to men that she is transgender until after the second date. Do you think people who identify as transgender should be open from the jump, or is it up to the person to decide? Al, what do you think about this?
Ooh, Claudia, this is really tricky because this is deeply individual and it's complex and it's very personal. For me personally, I would like to know from the first date, but I do have a much more open mind than most. But for me, the thing that I would be concerned about if you didn't make it known sooner than later would be their safety. We know the statistics around the hate, the violence towards the transgender community is just overwhelming. So for me, I would like for that to be alleviated and that to decrease. And I think that comes from open communication and being upfront about your gender from the very beginning.
Armand, what do you think?
I feel like maybe on the first date, but not like upon asking. You don't, ask someone on a date and then say, hey, I'm transgender. Maybe on the first date, maybe even the second, because here's the thing. Everybody has a bomb that they drop on you at some point. Yours just might be transgender. His might be he's got a baby mama with 5 kids on the loose. Everybody has something that they're withholding and they're a little bit nervous about sharing, and they do it, within time. So I feel like, maybe you just want to have a little fun, go on a date, hang out, get some free food, have a good time. And if it starts to escalate, then you start to let that person know, hey, before we get to the next level, I did want to put this out there, because perhaps the transgender woman may feel like, you may have never given me a chance had you known I was trans, but maybe we're the second date in and you might actually like me for me and you may be willing to try it.
Dark Skin Queen said you are tricking them.
No.
Mel, do you think they're tricking them? What do you think? Should trans people tell on the first date?
You're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, this is very, very tricky because it could involve violence. You know what I'm saying? And there are some gorgeous, beautiful, amazing trans women out there that, aside from the fact that they got a penis, you like their personality, you like the way they smell, you like I don't know. I think if I were with somebody, I would want to know upfront. But if I were the person revealing that, and I really like this person, I might hold back till the second date or so and just bridge the subject and gauge how they are on the subject of people dating people like that, and maybe feel them out. And if they sound like somebody that's not with it, then, maybe you should go ahead on and cut the relationship off right there and count your blessings. I have been very close friends with someone who is being involved with a transgender woman right now. And this transgender woman is beautiful. I got no shade. And the guy I know is, been blatantly heterosexual, allegedly, but he's big old freak. And so, I don't have any shade about it. But it's the fact that people can harm or kill people. Right. We don't want none of that happening. So I think that it's better to maybe get you one cute date out the way. And
That's
then
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
second one, you know what I'm saying? And then on the second one, be like, there's so many people, so many trans women in the world. Like, how do you feel? What would you feel if you were to find out that you were dating a trans woman, and see what the mood is of that person? And then you know whether you need to progress or whether you need to pull back. And maybe you don't have to reveal nothing. You can just find out how they feel about it.
I'm going to go against the grain on this. I feel like, I think we're being extra cautious because it's the question is about trans. And I think we have to keep it very fair. I'm always about fairness here. Just like I would want to know, don't tell me on my first or second date that you're married. Don't tell me on our first or second date that you have HIV. Don't tell me on your first, second, third, or fourth date that you have other things going on that might change my opinion. If you are so happy living in your truth and you are secure in who you are as a beautiful trans woman or a fantastic, handsome trans man, then you should stand on that. That's why I have so much respect for people like T.S. Madison who put it so out there. So people coming to T.S. Madison's inbox already know that she's trans. So there's no bomb that's going to drop later on. And I admire that. And I know it had to be scary, especially 10, 15, 20 years ago. But I think we're in a time now where it's not all the way there accepted, but it's far further along. And I think if we really do want to avoid violence and people getting erratic, mad. Imagine you're on a second date with someone one-on-one. You don't really know that person well, and then that's when you drop the T and they do something to you. I'd rather that person know before we even go on our first date. Yes, it may be feeling like you're exposing yourself, but if you're secure in who you are as a trans person, you should be like, you know what, this is, eventually you have to tell them anyways. I'd rather not even waste no one's time. That's my opinion.
Do you think this is interesting? So you think the response would be different on the second date than the first date?
I didn't say that. I said I
didn't think the hate would be different? Do you think the hate would be different if you told them on the first date than the second date?
I didn't say that. I said before the first date.
No, I'm just saying, I'm asking a question.
I don't know that, but I think that you should know, you have conversations before you meet up with a person. This is my opinion. So y'all can attack me if you want to. I'm still going to stand on, I'm going to stand on what I feel.
Right.
I feel like you should have these conversations before you go out with that person. I think it's fair to them.
So
and
you're saying have the conversation.
Wait, let me finish my sentence.
before.
Let me finish my sentence, please. I think a person that's going to end up loving you anyways will see the beauty and how brave you were and how much, how confident you are in that you are trans, and say, you know what? Go ahead.
I think you're giving people a little bit too much credit.
Right.
But I feel you, Claudia. I would want to know. But let's say let's reverse it and say I go out with a fine ass trans man, right? He's fine, treat me good, got money, and maybe he didn't tell me till the third date that he trans. Well, now I might be like, I might tilt my head and go, well, dang, you really are super cool. And I don't really know what this is about, but I kind of like you. And, you know, maybe let's not tell nobody else. And maybe let's go out on date.
That's why you wait. But then too, all trans people don't have the penis. So there may be some that are post-op. And so I feel like that buys you more time.
Buying someone time.
Wait a minute.
Buying time is more time for you to manipulate them. That is your buying time to try to trick them. That's what y'all doing. I'm standing on business. That's what I think. And guess what, y'all?
I just feel like
Can I finish my sentence? Al, I'm saying.
Jesus, can I say something?
You keep cutting me off, Al. I was in the middle of saying, that's why I was saying, you back on this again. Okay. That's why I was saying, Al, and all of y'all, we have a panel discussion. The question is your opinion. So you're totally entitled to have your opinion, Al. You can tell them. You can tell your truth when you're married.
I'm just trying to have it. All I want to know, for me, in my opinion, is that I don't think it's this easy. That it could be like, oh, you know, I want to, stand in my truth. I just feel like there's so many moving factors around this.
Because look,
have your opinion. I have mine.
No, but look, Al was married to Star.
That's true, but never told.
Talking about how gay he is on this show. Did you come out and expose yourself to Star when you first got married?
Oh my goodness. I have never been not truthful with anybody that I've been.
So Star knew she married a gay man.
I've talked about this on this platform before. I have always been very honest with all of my partners about my sexuality. When I date all of them. At the time that I date them, I've been very honest and open about my sexuality.
Okay.
All right, we're going to end on that note.